All right, hello everybody. Pre-calc, welcome. This is going to be a little bit different because we are doing something different next week. So this is actually our last Class Connect of 2022. We don't have a Class Connect next week, so wanted to kind of look forward as to what's going to happen next week. This week's all about reviewing Unit 4 and then preparing it for it with IXL and then taking your test. Next week is different. Next week's a project. So I want to spend this time going over this project. Again, I know sometimes the quizzes and the tests can be hard. Projects are a different way to show your learning. And so please try your best to take advantage of that. So height of tide project, that's what this is called. So we're basically going to look at sine and cosine and all these curves and kind of look at how it can be found in nature and in real life. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be looking at the tidal height for 3 separate periods. So you're going to find basically monitor the length of the wave or the tide for 1 day, and that's going to be during a new moon. And then you're going to do it for 1 day during the first quarter of the moon, and then you're going to monitor it for 1 day when the moon is full. Now, it's important to know that this data should come from the same month of the same year. Okay, again, we want to stay consistent with our information. And so you're going to end up creating 3 different graphs. Now, how do you find this stuff? Okay, it's all the links are right here for you. Okay, so if you want to find a specific time, like maybe you want to go back um, in 2022 and say, when are all the full moons? Here's a new moon, a first quarter, a full moon. This would be January, February. You pick the time. Okay, you want to do a super moon, maybe you do July. It's going to be up to you to find. If you want to go 20, we can't do 2023 yet, but you could go basically, I'd say pick any month from 2022 and find the full moon, the new moon, and the first quarter moon. Then what you're going to do is you're going to compare that day to a specific location and the tide. Else are you going to need? Okay. So I've created a data sheet for you to record your data in. So let's maybe look at that. Use the height of tides data collection. So that's going to be right here. And so I want you to edit and change the location. So go to File, make a copy. Okay, File, make a copy. And you can change the location. Go ahead, type in your date and moon phase here. And then if we ever get this to load, I'll show you what that looks like. But this website gives you the tidal height for a whole 24 hours. So just record it in here. And then again, so if this is the new moon, this would be the first quarter moon, and then this would be the full moon, or however you choose to record it. Again, make sure you include the date because I got to know what year it is. And then so that's going to be the first thing is collecting your data. Then you're going to graph that data. So all this stuff that you have here, you can choose to graph it by hand. You can use to graph it. You can use technology to graph it. It's going to be up to you. And I want you to come and find your try to figure out what's the best way to write an equation. Again, how does my graph look? Can I try to write? And again, think about what the unit we've just been working on with sine and cosine and tangent. What can I do to create an equation that looks something like that? And I really wish this was loading right now. uh, Okay. And then, so here again, just basically once you've got your information, once you've graphed it, you just got to follow these directions. So again, make 3 different tables. That's your data sheet. Label each graph with the day, month, year. Then I want you to graph all three on one. So you should have 4 graphs, 3 individual graphs, and then 1 graph of everything together. When I talk about the equation, again, you're going to need to change the A value, the B value, potentially the H and the K to fit your data. Okay. Does your graph have any negative values? If so, what do they represent? Again, you can record these on a Google Doc. You can edit this right here. You can write on it. It's going to be up to you how you want to record these answers. What is it? But this is, again, how you're going to get a lot of your points is how do you answer these questions? So take some time, think about this, okay? Answer these questions because this is going to be a large majority of your points. Website finally loaded. You can see, you can choose by state if you want to go on a coast, if you want to do somewhere in Minnesota, Great Lakes, whatever you choose. You can sort of pick something. I'm gonna pick somewhere in Oregon here, and so again, you got to match it up with the moon phases. So if I were to say, okay, I want to do the full moon, super moon, June 14th, I would have to match that date up. I can change the date right here, June 14th. Okay, that works. I want to go to June 14th. I would say plot data. There's my data. I can get all the things, all the numbers that I would enter onto my data collection sheet right here. I can get that at the bottom. So just match up the times, 7 a.m. What, and we want to know, you'll notice there's 2, we want the verified. It's cool that we have the predicted and we can see how accurate we are. And again, this would work for your graph. This is, again, you can see how this may potentially be some sort of trigonometric curve. But take a look at this again. Oops. So you could record all your data here. And then you'd have to pick the 2 other moon phases that are correct, and then plot that out. What I want you to do before you're done is I want you to fill out a self-graded rubric. So I want you to, this is how you're going to earn your points. Okay, precision, here's the criteria. Support, how do you back up your ideas? How is it organized and is it clear to read? And the mathematical concepts. Do you know about the sine function? Do you know the amplitude, the domain, the range? Can you tell me and can you record this stuff accurately? So I want you to grade yourself as either not proficient, foundational, proficient, or distinguished. Okay, figure out where you would line up and then give yourself a grade. And then I'm going to fill out the same rubric as well and give you a grade as well. So what you're going to be submitting to Schoology is kind of everything I want you to submit. I want you to submit your data sheet, the data that you filled out. I want you to submit your answers to these questions. I want you to submit your rubric, and I want you to submit your graphs. Class Connect assignment, to just wrap up and recap everything, is to just tell me about this project. If you have questions, I want to know. It's my first time doing this project. I want to, you know, help in any way that I can. Please write down any questions that you may have about the Height of Tides project. So again, pretty easy assignment here. Just let me know what you're thinking if you have any questions. All right, and that's it. Have a great winter break if I don't hear from you.